You have two nations, and nation one has 1,000 people storm the barriers and the walls of nation two and start taking things and occupying homes. They would call that an invasion. But if the nation invaded doesn't fight back and just lets the people come in and there's no fighting, would we call that a war? What would we call that? Migration? What we're seeing now is Trump's first term and Joe Biden's term did not engage in law enforcement actions to a great degree against armed and violent extremist leftist factions. So, of course, we didn't see them pick up arms and go shoot up ICE facilities. They didn't have to. They were being let to do whatever they wanted. They were firebombing federal facilities, and that was bad enough. And nothing was being done to stop them. Trump could have. He didn't. Now we are seeing, in response to Trump's efforts to actually deport, an armed, organized assault to kill police. And it was strategized. They attempted to lure police out of the building with a fake protest and fireworks. And when they walked out, they opened fire hidden in the woods. So what I will say about Trump's first term, the assumption many of us made, I think I made this, was that let baby have his bottle. If the violent people ransack these liberal cities, maybe they'll vote to actually get law and order. And I was wrong. And I think people thought that were wrong. In reality, the message that was sent to the American people is Trump will not protect you. So voting for him is pointless. Good luck. So these people said, I guess I have no other choice. Don't get me wrong. There were many other factors in the 2020 election. But I think now, for me, what's clear is this argument that people will decide to exercise their power when they're oppressed is completely untrue. The far left engages in violence against ICE, against the American citizens, and they are not oppressed in any way. The reality is those who have power, who choose not to wield it, don't actually have power and will be crushed. And right now what needs to happen is Trump needs to just say, we are going to arrest and shut these people down. And I think the reality is he will be rewarded for it in the midterms because people will actually say a vote for Trump is a vote to stop the violent extremists.
Look, I mean, this particular one, the 11 guys, they attacked the installation with firecrackers and stuff. The dude that was in the tree line shooting, if I understand correctly, he shot like 20 or 30 rounds at him, and he connected one time. But thankfully, they're incompetent. But it was the most advanced and most well thought out action against the police that we've seen yet, right? Like they had Faraday bags for their cell phones. They had actual gear like kit. They had body armor. They had, I'm not sure what, they had helmets. They had comms. It was, really unprofessional, but it was still the most advanced stuff that we've seen from leftists. And you're going to see more of this. Now, thankfully, this was unsuccessful. But if there's another small group, like 3 or 4 dudes that attack and they actually get away with it, I mean, even if they don't get away with it permanently, right? Like they say they actually, God forbid, they actually kill a couple people and then actually escape and get picked up later, that will inspire more. This is going to inspire more copycat stuff. This is all going to continue to snowball.
And while they may not be competent, I think a lot of times people underestimate, it's a bunch of kids in their basements, but when we were in Portland in front of the courthouse in July of 2020, just in the 2 weeks that we were there, we saw their tactics advance, up to using leaf blowers and metal saws on the fences. And by the end, they were using Molotov cocktails. Yeah. And I didn't see anybody get arrested for the Molotov cocktails that were thrown while we were there. So, while, there may be a degree of incompetence, these people are still organized and they're willing to go to that length.
So I believe public servants like ICE, Border Patrol, ERO are some of the bravest among us. Just to zoom out a little bit to get like a bird's eye view of what's going on. Outside of many different workplaces and outside of many different immigration courts, there are masked ICE agents, sometimes wearing badges showing, sometimes without badges showing, sometimes not fully masked, that has helped inflame the tensions of these deportations. They're waiting outside of these courts for judges to dismiss their cases and then making them available for expedited removal from the country. And then there's different representatives right now who are trying to advance different legislation to demask these ICE agents, putting them under further risk. So, for example, Rep. Nadia Velasquez from Bushwick, New York, and also Representative Dan Goldman, Representative Espaillat are all trying to advance legislation to put these guys in further harm's way because activists are showing up to where these ICE agents are trying to do detentions. They're photographing them and then they're doxing them online. There's something like 500% more violence against these agents. Some people are also blaming different Democrat representatives and whatnot. So Governor Tim Walz said of ICE that they're Trump's modern day Gestapo. Also, there was another quote from Rep. Pramila Jayapal from Washington, accused the ICE of acting like a quote unquote terrorist force. So there's a lot of rhetoric heating up here. And there's also this other thing I think that's like proliferating on the left, like this Luigi Mangione fever. Luigi Mangione was revered for his actions of murdering a healthcare CEO on some on the left, and there's endless justifications for it. I'm sure they're seeking some of that glory too. Yep. And looking for that praise in their terrorist acts here. I think a lot of this is proliferating on social media. I've been following some of the immigration beat, and these activists are heavily involved and have very violent rhetoric towards ICE on social media. And I suspect we're going to see a lot more of this before we see less of it.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.